and some of us have really bones, but nevertheless we do our best. Come watch our show and be impressed. Rolling, 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 rolling.
Oh, oh dear me.
Yeah, because that was just how it happened.
Well, everybody, our last show went pretty well, I think, and it was nice to see the animal refuge.
All right.
Yes, and it was good to see that the animals are being adopted rather than being killed,
Yes.
isn't it? So this time we're going to do giving up your license.
Is that your dog license?
Yes,
No, it's your driving license.
Oh,
Your driving.
driving license.
Yeah.
Right, now I know.
Yes.
What about your marriage license?
Oh, you can't give that up. You're stuck with that
can
for
I get divorced?
Yes, get divorced.
Yes.
Yes.
And then there's license to kill.
Oh, now you're really dreaming.
Well, is that
No, but then they put you in jail for years.
No, she thinks she's James Bond.
Yeah, well,
To the
I'm
law,
sorry.
there's a license.
No, I would hate to give my license up.
Yes.
Yeah.
your gun license?
My gun.
Now, how are we going to get all the information about, when you have to give up your license?
Well, I guess I'll have to contact some people and see if I can get them here next week, same time like today. And maybe transport, Department of Transport,
The police?
the police.
Yes.
Oh dear, they might arrest me if you bring all them here.
And, well, if you've been naughty, so be it.
Well, I have to think about
And
that.
how about Transcom Care?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, Transcom,
Yeah,
yeah. So there'd be a
St.
few.
John's,
St. John's.
another one.
Okay. And there's, yes.
Hello.
I rang up to tell you.
I'm at a meeting at the moment. Can
Oh,
you
for
please
heaven's
ring me
sake.
back, or could I ring you back?
Oh,
Oh,
smart.
that's good. Okay, thank you. Bye.
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 Yeah, but these people that come to give us all the information, they'll know sort of how to handle that sort of thing.
I'm sure they
Well, I
will.
give my licence up because I had a couple of strokes.
Yes, that's
You
right.
know they drive cars when
That
you
happens.
don't go.
Hey, everybody, if I can arrange this, would that suit everybody? Yes. Okay.
It doesn't matter
Good
to me anymore. Oh, but I still drive a scooter. So you
No,
can have that.
it's
little-
over. It's over. Finish.
Good morning, George.
Good morning.
I'd just like to know, where were you living when you decided to give up your driver's licence?
In Port Kembla, New South Wales.
And what made you want to give up your driver's licence?
Well, the strokes that I had left you with those types of head and your eyes where if you got in a car and drove, you can just imagine seeing someone walking along, getting in a car like that. And you will see them in town here. Turning it on and away they go, and the car's there and there and there and everywhere.
George, and who do you rely on now to get you to where you want to go?
I use St. John's. We are very lucky living here because we have different companies that look after the old people.
Excuse me, who are St. John's?
St. John's are, they're a medical crowd in a way, but the part that we use of them There's a transport side. They use medical, they have medical sides and all the rest of it.
So when you need them, when can you get them on the day that you ring them?
If they're not booked out, you have to ring them
Yes.
and they'll tell you they want a certain time.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
It's good to have those services here in Harvey Bay.
Oh yeah, look, people complain about Harvey Bay, there's no services, there's no nothing. We have services for the old people here, which is unsurpassable. It doesn't matter where you go in Australia, you'll never get the services that you will receive here.
Oh, that's very good, George. Thank you very much for coming
That's quite all
along
right.
and answering our questions.
Thank you.
Well, welcome, Wayne. It's nice to see you here from the Department of Transport, and I've got a question for you. I have a friend, and she has some problems, but she's managed to, year after year, get a limited driving license. That means she can't drive over a certain speed, and is that quite, quite a few people go have a license like that?
Yeah, that's not out of the ordinary.
Yes.
That'd be a conditional licence, so they are the conditions and restrictions placed upon you. And the doctor can put those conditions on there. And it's also worth mentioning those type of conditions the police can actually enforce. So if you're not to drive more than 5 kilometres from your home and you're found driving 30 kilometres away by the police, they could actually fine you for not abiding by the conditions on your licence.
Oh.
So it is quite normal to have those types of conditions on your licence. Yeah. And maybe not to drive at night time or to only drive in the daytime
Yeah.
and to avoid the peak hours as well.
Oh, thank you for that.
If you have a medical condition or your health status changes, what do you have to do?
So you must follow the advice of your treating doctor and have regular medical assessments. If your health status changes, you must see your doctor to keep them updated about it. If your doctor advises that you're medically fit to drive, but may have conditions imposed or put upon your licence, you would need a modified or an updated medical certificate, and you would present that medical certificate to TMR with Transport Main Roads Department. So every time there's a change, you need to see your doctor, and if they change your medical certificate, you need to bring that into the department. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Do you find that people will voluntarily give up their licence without the doctor prescribing that they do?
Sometimes we do. I think when there's been a good support network around that person, through friends and particularly family, and depending on where they live, if they're like at Harvey Bay where there is a number of public transport opportunities, we find people do willingly surrender their licence. So we are able to have a conversation with them about, recognising the time that it might be due time to surrender the licence. But there's a number of signs that you might experience that could be an early warning that it is time to give your licence up.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah. And
And when you're turning 75, I know that you have to go and have a check, plus have your eyes tested. So what happens like year after year? Do you still have to keep renewing this all the time?
you do.
And what age group, up to what age group will they keep giving you your licence?
Yep. So the law says that once you turn 75, you must have a medical certificate verifying you're fit to drive a motor vehicle. That certificate needs to be assessed every 12 months. Every year you need to go in and do that. So there is no limit to the age. So there are a number of people who are around in their 90s that have been assessed as physically fit and capable of driving. So it can extend as far out to them. You can appreciate every person's different.
Oh yes.
And their ability to drive is varied, does vary.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can still get your licence taken out for a period of up to 5 years,
Right.
but within that 5 years, every year,
Mm.
which would be around your birth date,
Yeah.
you would need to go to the doctor. So
right.
medical certificate every year.
Every year.
You can still extend the licence out to 5 years if you wish to.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
So if you do give up your licence, is it a good idea to get an ID card? Because so many people ask for your licence as ID, and how much do they cost?
It's definitely a good idea to get a form of ID that's recognised by other organisations. The Department of Transport has one, and it's called an Adult Proof of Age card. It is a Category A document, which means it's just as good as a passport or a Queensland driver's licence. If you surrender your driver's licence and it's got time left on it, so if it's still current, you may be entitled to get an Adult Proof of Age card for free. An Adult Proof of Age card would normally cost about $67, and they don't have an expiry date on them at the moment. So an Adult Proof of Age card could last for 5, 10 or 15 years.
Thank you.
Interesting.
It is interesting, yeah.
Wayne, when should you, when must you give up your driver's licence?
You must give up your driver's licence when you've been assessed as not medically fit to drive.
Oh.
You also must surrender your driver's licence when you've had a significant change to your health. And that could be if you've had a stroke or a heart attack or suffered from epilepsy or blackouts. And the reason for that is you must give it up and stop driving immediately so that you can go to the doctor and become medically assessed. And it would be possible that your condition may be treated, and then once it's under control and treated, you may be able to get your licence back.
Right.
So anything happens like that, you must give it up and stop driving straight away.
And when should you give it up then?
So if you don't have a medical condition that impedes your ability to drive, there's a number of signs that would give you an indication that you should give up your licence. And some of those things are that driving is becoming more difficult for you to manage, and you find that you're becoming easily frustrated and sometimes possibly angry, or you become very anxious about having to go on the road. Another sign is that you're starting to have near misses, and by that I mean almost having accidents, or you're not seeing road signs.
Right.
You may not be seeing speed signs. You could find sometimes you're driving too fast for the speed limit, or the alternative, you're driving too slow. So there's signs as well that you're not handling the current driving requirements. Other physical signs are that when you notice it might be getting very, very difficult to turn your neck when you're doing a park or something like that, or your shoulders or your body if you're having difficulty moving and being rather restricted. And another one, a good sign is your peers, your friends and your family, if they're passengers in your car and they're saying to you that, look out, you've missed that person, watch out for the signs ahead or something like that. If you're not seeing those signs, heed the advice of those passengers in your car, and you need to start thinking, well, maybe it is time that I do surrender my licence.
Well, my husband had Alzheimer's, and he, we'd go to the doctor, and the doctor would say, oh, look, he can, he knows this area, he can drive around the block. But I still wouldn't trust him to drive the car, because, he could forget, even just in the local area. So I just decided that I would not renew his licence. And first of all, he put up a bit of a struggle, but then he was quite calm about just getting in the other seat. But
that's normal for people to resist that. They've had a driver's licence and independence for a long, long time, and to facing the fact that is going to be taken away from them.
But some
it's
people
normal to accept
just
that.
don't want to lose their licence. They insist on still driving.
And that's where we need to get community groups and support groups around them to let them know there are alternatives and that it won't impact their lifestyle, and that if they need a form of identity, there is an alternative to the driver's licence. So there's no reason for them to hold on to that licence any longer.
My husband gave up his licence, but he knew it was time.
Yeah.
I guess he wasn't well.
Just hide the keys.
It's best that that conversation comes from family.
Yes,
You know, the people that
does.
care the most
Well,
and
it
have the closest
came
relationship.
from me and other people,
Yeah.
my son-in-law.
Yep.
So,
Oh, thank you very much. That was very informative, and we'll take heed of all those things you've told us.
Not a problem. It's a pleasure. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
I hope it makes us better drivers.
Yeah.
Seeing we've heard all this information.
So, how'd you get on yesterday? Oh, not too bad.
No time.
Got a bit of a bad back pain and sore arm.
No good.
But I'm good.
No good.
Oh my God.
What? What?
Oh, did you see that?
Did you see the driver?
No. Oh, now here he comes. Oh my God. It's a dog.
Dogs shouldn't be driving a car.
Oh, that's for sure.
Look out for your car.
There's a passenger in there too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Here they come.
Oh my God. Oh, careful.
Oh, look out, look out.
Oh, my God. Oh.
Get me out of this car! Oh, be quiet. There's nothing wrong with my driving.
I think you better ring the police, don't you? Quick!
Well, who's got a phone? Going out to the road.
Thanks, Maureen, for coming along today and giving us a chat on Transcom Care. We have a few questions to ask you today. My first question is, what is community transport?
Community transport is a personalised transport service that gives, we come to your door to pick you up. It's a pre-booked service. We can take you to visit family and friends, medical appointments, and any other access that you need to have in the community.
Who manages and who funds Transcom Care?
The Harvey Bay Neighbourhood Centre, 22 Charles Street, they manage Transcom Care, and also it is funded by the Queensland and Commonwealth Government. That's why we can provide subsidised transport.
How do we access community transport?
You can telephone My Aged Care. That's a centralised place to register, particularly for people over 65 or frail aged. Or you can personally ring Transcom Care on 41943080, and one of the project officers or myself will have a talk to you about it. And if you're unable to telephone My Aged Care yourself, I can come out and visit you and we can make that telephone call together.
Right.
How much does it cost?
Well, it is subsidised through the Australian Government and the Queensland Government.
Who is eligible for Transcom Care?
People who are over 65 and people who are under 65 who have a disability that affects their core daily living skills. Also people who are no longer driving. However, if they're, some people are driving and they only drive limited distance. So whilst you might be comfortable driving from your home to the corner shop, but you're not comfortable driving further around town or to Maryborough, yes, ring Transcom Care and have a talk to us about your eligibility.
Do you have to have a package to access transport?
No, you do not have to have a package to access transport.
Well, that's good.
So how would you go about getting in touch with Transcom to see whether you are really eligible to use your services?
You can ring Transcom Care on 0741 94 3080 and speak to these project officers that work there or myself.
Well, thank you for coming along. We do appreciate all these answers that you have given us, and we will be able to put them into practice. Thank you very much, Maureen.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for all the organisations. For us oldies, we need that help.
And we love to give that help as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're rolling bones with kidney stones, and some of us have Ridley's bones, but nevertheless we do our best. Come watch our show and be impressed. Rolling, 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 rolling.